We'll say good evening once again to everyone. This is Ielts Live tonight, and tonight we'll be rounding off on the Ielts speaking class for this week. That's the what we have done in previous class on Tuesday, and for those who are just joining us, we will do a recap of Ielts listening. Okay, so I can see some new faces joining us. So I want to say you are welcome for tonight, Mr. Reginald and Mr. Victor. Okay, you are welcome. Okay, and others, Akiola Ajayi, Blessing Sandra, you are also welcome. I know some other people will be joining us along the line. So for today, we are concluding on the IELTS speaking. We started on Tuesday. Okay, I know some people do not really have challenges with IELTS listening, but nevertheless, we still need to go through it to complete the cycle of lecture. And on Tuesday, another cycle of lecture will begin. So just like I said in the last lecture, I said those who will be writing soon, please make a note and indicate which one you would like to be treated first, either reading or writing. Okay, so I might have to start from there. I can start from any of them, but I just want to make sure those who are writing soon will get the benefit of treating the part they find the hardest. Okay, so this evening, the last time we talked on the two aspects of the IELTS listening, and I said there were generally three parts of the IELTS listening, and we even did some practices. Some people took time to answer questions here. Okay, so the first part is the introduction and the general information, where the examiner will introduce himself and read out your exam information and ask you how you want to be addressed. Okay, then there will be some light questioning. It will be from any issue, but it will be relating to your personal experience on all the things you do. A typical example is the question in front of you: do you like traveling? What's your favorite type of holiday? What do you do on holidays? Those are the samples that can come out. It is just about you in this section. Okay, and in the next, this is another sample question. Living place. What kind of place is it? What's the most interesting part of your village? Okay, these are just sample questions that can come out in the section 1. This is another sample question. How well do you know the people who live next door to you? Okay, so the question can even be question about where do you work and what do you do? And on that day, we lay down some general guidelines on things that you should do. Do not answer yes or no and stop there. You need to answer either yes, then give an explanation. And I said it that we should make complete sentences. Okay, because some people make the mistake of starting off from where the speaker stops. So question like, where are you from? Okay, from Ikeja, Lagos. No, I am from, or I am a native of Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, answer in 2 or 3 sentences. Yes, your answer must not be too short or elaborate. And I said it that you need to use alternate words or higher expressions. When the person asks you, okay, what's your favorite food? Okay, you can say the food I love the most instead of saying my favorite food is. Okay. Or I'm a big fan of, okay, yam and rice. Okay, so I so much love it. So you need to use alternate word. If you can use alternate word, instead of repeating back the same word used by the person questioning you or the interviewer, okay, you can use alternate word. And as you speak continuously, when some word crops up and you are speaking, you need to replace those words with alternate words. Okay, for example, I would prefer that a child be raised in a nuclear family. Then the next sentence, you are saying that, okay, nuclear family is the right environment to raise, instead of saying raise, to nurture, to develop. So using alternate words are very, very good and score you high mark. So the same way it does in when you are writing. So then higher expressions. Okay, if you say, okay, oh, the chasm between the rich and the poor is so much, is better or highly acceptable than the gap between the rich. If you say the gulf in class, that's another higher expression. So those are the things I meant by higher expression. You need to be deliberate about them. And for those who have been part of this class, you need to check some of our vocabulary development videos for higher expressions. Okay, this is about 7 minutes that I've been talking. Please, if you have any questions, send it to the comment section or raise your hand if you see the raise hand button, and I'll be giving a little break. I'll be unmuting. In order to make the class not too rowdy, though yet interactive, I will unmute from time to time to give you space or to ask questions, to make comment and things like that. So that was what we did, and we did some practice. Okay, if you would like to volunteer to practice tonight, maybe before we end, you can just indicate and I will call you up. Though when we get to the third part, okay, I will have to pick people who will practice, because especially those whose exams are very near. Okay, I will pick them to just practice, because on Tuesday as well we did some practice so as to get us in the mood, and so that I can give feedback to those I see that are not doing it appropriately. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, and I said the second part is the monologue, which is the cue card section. You'll be given a card and question will be on it. You have 1 minute to prepare, and you will be required to talk for about a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. You would be stopped if you hit the time of 2 minutes, and it's preferably good that you talk for 2 minutes. Okay, these are part of the guidelines I gave for speaking for 2 minutes, or the cue card question. I said you need to answer every task or question. Okay, what do I mean? Explain each point, use good expression, higher expression or common expression, use alternate words. I say use words that are peculiar to the topic. You know, register. When you are talking about farming, you need to use words related to farming. You need to use words related to architecture if you are talking about architecture. So that's what I mean by peculiar. I mean register. I said, please watch the vocabulary development videos to have a good grasp. There are some vocabulary development videos that have been done on our YouTube channel. You can just check. Yes, you can just check them. So these are sample questions. Okay. You will be given this type of question. Describe one of your childhood memories. You should say what it is, when it happened, how it affected your life, and explain why you still remember it. Okay, so I will just maybe call in some people now. If you would like to just uh, maybe to make you answer some question, I will call in some people. Okay, so I want you to try the question on the screen. I want to go to section, this is section 2, the Q card question. Okay, let me explain the Q card question now. I said it, you will plan for 1 minute. Okay, answer every topic concerned. So those are the things you are expected to do. Don't skip any part. Okay, so Mr. Kunle, will you be willing to try the question on the screen?
Okay. As regard an accident I saw.
Yes, please. You have 1 minute to plan. And
Okay.
then after that, I will tell you when to start talking.
Okay.
We will all wait for you. So, yes. Okay, you can start talking now.
Okay. The accident occurred on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on my way back from school. So while I was driving down that route, I noticed a commercial bus that ran into the ditch, and I actually driven past through it. So I parked by the side of the road and came down to check if I could be of help. I suppose the accident happened based on the terrain of the road, and the road was a little wet that very day. So when I got there and I saw people shouting and they were trying to help some out of the bus, I'm the kind of person that really likes the scene where there's blood. So what I did was to get back into my car, and I drove straight down because I know a few kilometers from me. I noticed when I was coming that very route on the other side on my way to school, I saw a post where the road safety guys were. So I drove down there, alerted them about what happened, gave them the full details of everything that happened, and they had to now take off to go down to the accident scene to see if there could be of help and assistance to every victim that was on that scene
Okay.
that was there.
If you are done, you can stop, though you've not hit
Okay.
your 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. So that is a good try for the first time. Let me see now. What I would like to say is that okay, you indicated where it occurred, where you were. Yeah, you talk. I think you were trying to say you don't like blood, but you didn't directly talk about how the accident affected you. You didn't. You just mentioned your general reaction to accident, and you did not give detailed information of the accident. Yes, you gave it. It happened. You gave it. Yes, a vehicle ram into this. Maybe you could still give further details. What you saw, the site of the accident, maybe the people you saw, their state, and things like that. Okay, maybe you do not really like a gory site. A gory site will mean the site of blood and the site of the whole mess. Okay, I think you could have done better, but it's a nice start if you are just practicing, especially if you are practicing in the midst of people. Okay, so that was a nice start, but you can just improve more. Okay, so that's an example of description that you will have to do. Okay, and you can embellish. For example, when you started, okay, I once witnessed a very gory accident, and it happened around Lagos Ibadan Expressway. And that day I was returning from a festival. I think I went for a birthday ceremony of a friend, and I was returning in company of friend. I think we were about to get to Shagamu when I witnessed this accident. Okay, I'm still on one, so I am trying to stay around one to give some description so I would be able to exhaust the time. Then I'm mindful of the fact that because to speak alone for a long time is actually very difficult, and that's the truth. So if you are a shy person or you don't talk too much, I think you need to take some of the question, face the mirror daily, time yourself, and talk. So after that, say, where were you then? Okay, I have indicated part of where I was. I was in the vehicle on the way back from somewhere. Okay, how the accident affected me. Someone that I'm very, very much afraid of blood outside. So the accident was a bit injurious. A lot of people, I think about 6 of the occupants were seriously injured. Though I couldn't come near, but I could figure out from afar because I don't really like the gory sight of blood. So it really affected me to the extent that I was a bit jittery to uh, continue the journey because I was the driver. So it was a bit hard for me. It was a solemn period. And the accident involved a vehicle, a sedan 2016 model, and a Toyota Hiace bus carrying about 16 passengers. And they had a head-on collision, which makes the accident a bit more terrible. I don't know if there was any death recorded because I didn't come near, but the sight of it from afar, though I had to go seek for help from the road safety officers that were a minute or two away who did not notice the accident from afar. So with that, you will see that I have talked for about 2 minutes. So the gimmick is that you need to be relaxed. Okay, I have not seen anybody indicated they want to talk, because if you have anything to say, I will be accommodating it. So now this is a recap of last lecture. So I will be going into the third part now, which is what I call the conceptualization of issue. Because after the cue card question, what you will be asked to do is that there will be some follow-up question. Yes, there will be some follow-up questions that will be asked. And I normally tag them as conceptualization of issue because some of them are broad-based questions. You need to use your broad view or world view to answer the questions. Yes. Okay, for example, this question, the last time we talked about this question, I said, what do you think, why do you think tourism is so developed now? Okay, so there could be many reasons why tourism is developed in different parts of the world. Okay, so your own answer could be tourism is so developed now because governments of different countries are paying serious attention to tourism and are investing seriously in it. So if you make such statements, it's only wise that you delve into explanations with vivid and clear examples. For example, the government of Kenya is investing so much money in developing facilities and developing technology around tourism in Kenya, and thus Kenya's tourism in terms of their safari, the live, what do we call it now? The live animals, or the, I'm losing the right word to use. So wildlife, yes, are gaining significant attention because of government investment. Okay, so you can come from any angle. You can come from the fact that, hey, some people are maybe the present generations like traveling and visiting tourism centers, so they are spending more on tourism, and therefore tourism is developing or is advancing due to such spendings. So your own worldview, but when you give your own worldview, make sure you explain that your own worldview. Yes. Okay, the next question is how people choose their destinations. There are different ways. You can talk about the different ways and then maybe explain in details one or two. Okay, you can say this is the internet age. Many people explore tourism destinations through the internet, especially through travel information sites like trip advisors and other travel agencies that are now abundantly available online. Okay, you can say people still patronize or use tour package or tour guide companies to make choices of destinations, and then you explain why. Okay, those are the things you need to do in the conceptualization of idea. So I'll be picking someone now. If you want to volunteer, you can volunteer. But if there is no volunteer, I'll be picking someone and we'll be going to the sample questions. Okay, I think for this part, I'll be picking a guy because I know most of the time guys like sport more than the ladies. Okay, I'll be picking Mr. Reginald. I hope you are ready. Okay, it's a straight of you shoot straight because okay, are you with us, Mr. Reginald? Hello? Hello? Okay, I guess maybe you can't speak from your end, or maybe they are having trouble. Okay, I will pick someone else then. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me. I was hearing some voices from your background. Are you still speaking, Mr. Reginald? We can barely hear you. I don't know what the problem is. Okay. I would like to pick Akinola Ajayi. I know Akinola Ajayi is a lady, but if you can just, you will answer the question because.
Okay.
Can you speak?
Yes, I'm here with you. Can you
Okay,
hear me
sorry,
too?
it's the Mr. that is online. So, okay,
Yeah.
no problem. Okay, so you followed the example that I gave.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be asking you this question, then you'll be answering. Why are some
Okay.
sport fans so passionate?
Sports fans are passionate because they bet most time before the game starts. And when the game starts, they are so passionate. I can't even say they are passionate alone. They had violence too, because by that time their body will be in another piece. So they bet. That's the major thing. They bet. That's why they are
Okay, okay, you are talking about,
passionate,
okay, the atmosphere and the effect
not because of the game
the
itself.
sports creates make fans to be very passionate. Okay, this is what I want you to do. You have been able to give a concept. I want you to, if you have given a concept, you need to explain a bit. Okay, one of the reasons why fans are so passionate is because of the atmosphere or the effect of the sporting arena. Okay, for example, football. The football fans are so passionate about football because the stadium most time are filled with capacity with opposing fans of the two teams. So the fans of each team try to outdo one another. You've given the concept of the atmosphere of the stadium being responsible for such passion. Then give examples, just the way I said. Yes,
Okay.
there are about 40,000 in an average stadium, and the noise and chant of 40,000 people creates such a passionate atmosphere. So you need to give example. Okay. Is there any
Okay.
violence at sporting events in your country?
Yes. In recent time, we had it in news of two fans of different clubs in a viewing centers watching their team playing because there was an argument between the two of them. My team would defeat yours, your team would defeat mine. That's what brings up the argument. And before we know it, they started fighting and they started using objects on each other. Before they know, the other fainted and he was rushed to the hospital. Before he was rushed to the hospital, he gave up the ghost and he died. And
Okay.
that was in a recent time. And again, another happened like 3 months ago too, when a father and a son was talking about their team, and before they know it, it turned to an argument in their right there in their sitting room. Father beat the child to death, and the father was prosecuted to court and he was jailed for
Okay.
the time.
Okay. No problem. When you are trying to mention example, I want you to restrict it to one because you'll be dragging the explanation. The first, and I want you
Okay.
also to mind the language you use because before you know it, okay, fine, it's English, but I want you to use expressions like, okay, in the twinkling of an eye, it degenerated into a fight. Okay, to
Okay.
the extent that they started using objects like bottles to fight, to attack one another. So I want you to just use standard expressions that are not normal, everyday thing that we use. Okay,
Okay.
should athletes be better role models?
Yes and no.
Okay,
I say
let's get your idea.
okay. I say yes because athletes are, it is an individual person. Athletes in the sense that you they I don't know how to go about it anyway. I don't know how to go about that
Okay,
question.
well, sometimes you need to just think around the question. If one thing you need to decide quickly on is how best you can, which side you can quickly give a point to support. If you think athletes should not be role model, you can say, okay, I don't think athletes should be role model naturally because they just become stars because they have special talents, not because they have special character. Because I believe it is people who are able to shape the character of the society that should be role models. It is not that you need to be
Mm,
right or wrong. And you can decide that, okay, athletes should be because they have a lot of followers, and then there should be deliberate attempt to make them role model, to shape their character, to really help shape the young ones who look up to them. So it depends which side. Quickly decide on the one that is easy for you to discuss. You will not be caged, or you will not be told that this is the best, or this is the better answer. Okay,
okay.
okay. What benefit do international sporting events bring?
International sporting events brings, it foster unity, it brings different countries together, it makes it eliminates racism, and it's
Okay, let me help you out. You have mentioned
okay.
about 2 or 3 points. One thing I want you to do when you are mentioning the point is that I want you to go into little or some example. Okay, you said it fosters unity. Okay, you can say, okay, during sporting festival, especially in Nigeria, that we are divided along religion and ethnic line, everybody abandon those divide and we become united some sort. So especially during Nations Cup when Nigeria is playing, or during World Cup. So you can say that.
Okay.
Yes, I want you to go into example, because immediately you start mentioning too many things, it doesn't give you point. It is ability to stay on one issue and able to explain in good English that gives you points. Okay, is it important for a country to win lots of medals? Okay,
It is not important for a country to win a lot of medals. The reason being that we have different countries that is contesting, and that, or I can say there are a lot of countries in the competition, which if a country should win a lot of medal in a competition, meaning the competition is not interesting. But and it is not a competition. If it is indeed a competition, there will be. If it is indeed a competition, the countries will be competing among each others, and it will make it more interesting.
okay,
So out of
okay, you were
out of
saying
10
something.
countries, yes, out of 10 countries, a country can win four, the other can win three, the other can win five. That
Okay,
makes it more interesting.
okay. One thing I need you to do, or anybody else that is listening, is that you need to quickly conceptualize your idea before running
Okay.
into examples. Okay, the concept you were saying that okay, for any sporting event or things like that, you do not believe, or you are not of the opinion that a country should be dominant because there are many countries competing, and it is not a competition when only one country wins a lot of medal. What you are saying is that what makes a competition competitive is if many countries can scrabble and divide or win medals competitively. Okay, yes. Conceptualize the idea. For example, in Olympics, if you want to give example, okay, many countries come, there are a lot of sports dominated by US, some dominated by UK. So it makes it competitive when there are a lot of countries that wins medals across board. So conceptualize the idea very well before going into examples, because you will trail off. Okay, so that's it. The money professional sportsmen earn is significantly higher than the earning of other professionals. Is it justified? Hello? Are you still there? Okay. I think his network is bad. Okay, so that's how we have gone tonight on this Ielts listening, speaking, the third aspect, which is the final aspect. And the speaking part has been brought up because of the month, because normally I just felt, well, not too hard. But if you still have issues with the speaking, you can let me know, especially those who are always part of the Tuesday class. Okay, and if you still want to ask a question or two before we close for the day, somebody is marking the screen. Please stop marking the screen. So I have to erase it now. Okay, maybe I have to disable the use of screen. Okay, so that's the way it is. So let me stop. And someone has sent in a comment. Okay. Okay, so someone is saying, is there a particular timing? You are allowed to express yourself as much as possible, but don't go into too much narration. Conceptualize the idea. You have more time than in the first section, but you have less time than in the second section. At least for 15 seconds, get your ideas across as quickly as possible with your examples. It makes you score good mark when you're able to get your idea quickly as much as possible. It's not the much talk, but if your idea needs explanation, it will be good you break it down into good explanation, just the way I have been doing and the way I said it. So you need to practice. For example, what benefit do international sporting events brings? Okay, international sporting events brings economic benefits to host country. For example, the host country of to World Cups and events like Nations Cup often receive visitors and tourists who spend a lot of money, and this boosts the economy of the host country. So you can see that this is straight to the point. I've been able to pick up the fact that it has economic benefits and went straight to the point that I gave an example of how the economic benefit is derived. So conceptualize the idea instantly and explain and give example. So you don't need to spend so much time, and you don't need to be too brief running away. Okay, so that is it. So I will want to come, if you have any question, please, I want to listen to the question. I will unmute one after the other just to make, okay. Mr. Regina, do you have any question? I am not hearing you, and I can guess that there is a faint noise at your background. Maybe you are talking, is not getting across to this place. Okay, I can't hear him. So, Blessing, please, do you have any question for us tonight?
No, I don't.
Okay, you don't have any question. Okay, what of B-Man?
No question for now.
No question. Okay, if you missed the other class, the video is available on the YouTube. You can check and also go through it.
I've downloaded.
What did you say?
I've downloaded that already.
Okay.
I saw it. I downloaded it. Yes.
Okay, no problem. That's good. Okay. What about Akiola Ajayi? Is there any question?
No question for now.
Okay, no problem. Okay, what of Mr. Kunle?
Well, what I just deduced from everything you said now is that we should be very constructive in answering the questions.
Absolutely.
And we shouldn't be using the everyday English. We should try and
don't degenerate into using the everyday English language expressions that do not convey proper understanding of English.
Okay.
Yes, you need to use standard English. That's what you are being judged on. You are not judged on the correctness of your point, so to speak. You are judged on how you are conveying your message in standard and proper English.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay. Okay, Mrs. Adebisi, do you have any question?
I'm not joining you on time.
You did not join us on time. Okay, yeah. I will send the recording to you. It is speaking, and it is the later part of speaking that we just dealt with, which is the third aspect where you need to conceptualize the idea and also give examples. Okay. Okay, what of Olayinka Adenekan?
Just joining.
Oh, why are you just joining us?
Okay. I'm just reading text. I sent you a text. I just saw it.
Okay, I have sent it maybe like 8:30 thereabouts.
Maybe you should try and send it earlier so that we'll plan ourselves. I have a baby.
I'm sorry about that, maybe because I didn't send a lot of reminder. Tuesday and Thursday are normal. There's going to be a cancellation. Though I normally send a reminder in the morning, but this morning I just sent lectures of the past to remind us, those who have missed some classes. So sorry about that. Okay. Okay.
Please.
Hello. You were saying something.
You can send what you did today to me so that I can go through it.
I didn't hear you well.
Can you please send the lecture for tonight to me?
Okay, no problem then.
Thank you.
No. Okay, Mr. Victor. Any question?
No questions for now.
No question, no comment. Okay. Okay, Madam Kemi, you said you have a question.
Okay, I don't really have much question because tomorrow is my speaking test.
Okay.
And
okay.
I said I just want everybody to wish me best of luck, and on Saturday will be my my written and listening test. So So
Okay, she
although
wants everyone to wish her best of luck. Please help me wish her best of luck. She has her speaking on Saturday.
tomorrow, speaking
Oh,
tomorrow.
Friday.
Okay. Yeah, tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Okay, so
So
help me wish her the best of luck.
please,
Best
all
of
the
luck.
best. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. But since you join me, okay, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Okay.
You see, when I come back, I'll come and share my experience with
Okay.
everybody so that we can learn more as well. Because I think other people's experience can surely help us. Though I've tried to read, I read many things and what you taught me, and I believe that when I get it tomorrow, with help of God by my side, I'll try my best.
Okay.
So,
Amen.
yeah. So that's it.
Okay. What of Tosin? Do you have any comment for or question?
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Isaac.
Yeah. Good evening.
Uh, Thank you for the class today. I don't really have any question anymore. The question I wanted to ask, I chatted with you on the screen. I just want to know more about this conceptualization. If
Yes.
there's going to be time, and you have answered the question. So
Yes.
that's
Okay.
the only question I have
No
this evening.
problem then. Okay. What
Okay.
about Afyong? You are the last person.
No question for now.
Okay. No question for now. Okay. Sorry, I didn't pass out the information. But please, even when I pass it out or not, there will always be class on Tuesday and Thursday. I think this is the first time in a long time that I didn't send information in the morning. I always send it ahead to get you prepared. Then in the evening, I will send the invite. So for those who are offended, I say I'm sorry. So you'll be getting the notification of awareness well earlier than you got it today. So I will say good night and have a happy night rest. For most of us, I said you can subscribe on the YouTube channel. As soon as new lectures are uploaded, you will get the update. For those who have requested for the link, I'll be sending the link to you after it is uploaded. So good night and thank you and have a happy night rest.
You too, sir.
Good night.
Okay.
Thank
Night.
you.
Appreciate it.
Good night. Yeah.
Wow.